We are back on Taking Care of Business on Current Radio, News Talk, 1180, 1230 KGEO, 1410 KERI, and 1000 KKIM in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Our guest by phone, Dr. Joel Kahn, cardiologist who also believes a lot in preventative medicine. So, Dr. Kahn, you kind of got my curiosity up there. You're saying that diseases like heart disease, diabetes, are really foodborne diseases as opposed to anything else.
Yeah, there's a couple comments, and you're absolutely right. Number one, we've learned in the last 3 to 5 years, such interesting work has been done that you may be dealt a bad hand in your life with genes that favor cancer, heart disease, and other illnesses. But if you use the proper lifestyle, we've shown now in prostate cancer, you eat vegetarian and you have prostate cancer, it will shut off genes that cause cancer cells to grow and turn on genes that cause cancer cells to stop growing just by changing what's on your fork. It's as powerful as chemotherapy, but if you apply it in early prostate cancer, people do better. It's been shown now that, as silly as it is, getting adequate sleep turns genes off, turns genes on. And if you get adequate sleep, it turns on healthful genes that promote weight loss, heart health. So you're not trapped by your genes in most people's situation, which is good news. You might be worried that your brother had a heart attack at age 39, and what does that mean for you? Well, get your act together, get some books, read, watch some videos like Forks Over Knives, and your genes will respond to helpful lifestyle. Healthy lifestyle. The other comment you made is so true, and it's equally relatively recent medical data science, not just opinion, that when you drive through a fast food window at breakfast time and you're eating in your car a muffin sandwich of one brand or another, in your bloodstream 45 minutes later will be a list of poisons that are normally seen in your blood during serious infections, life-threatening illnesses. They show up when you eat one single meal that's highly processed, high fat, high salt, high sugar, processed food. It doesn't show up when you have oatmeal. It doesn't show up when you eat green vegetables or fruit or nuts and seeds. It shows up as a reaction. Probably within fast food itself are a load of bacteria and a load of bacterial poisons because the quality of the average sausage patty and hamburger at fast food restaurants has been shown, it's not my opinion. Cleveland Clinic Pathology Department took hamburgers from fast food restaurants and did autopsies on the hamburgers. They were 12% beef. They were 88% other stuff. And our body reacts to it. Now, you just mentioned, if you do that every day, 2 meals a day, 3 meals a day, that means these poisons are being released in your blood for 3-4 hours. And if you're doing it 2-3 meals a day, most of the day, that causes inflammation. Inflammation leads to cancer, heart disease, diabetes, obesity, arthritis, dementia, psoriasis, rashes, and it's all one fork that makes the difference. So it's fascinating. It's actually so hopeful, too. Somebody out there right now has psoriasis or arthritis and just is struggling. I mean, go read some of the work by Dr. Joel Fuhrman and by Dr. Neil Barnard, by Dr. John McDougall, and you'll find that there's patients in this country that are beating those illnesses by changing their lifestyle.
So it's obvious. It's obvious you're never going to be a spokesman for the fast food industry.
You know, they sent me a contract, but I just can't harm myself that much. That was a loaded question. No, I am not. I'd love to see the day you could drive through a window. And I'd say one of the chains has a veggie burger. It's a veggie burger and a highly processed bun with all kinds of mayonnaise, but I give them credit for at least being a model of the future. But we do need fast food, healthy places. We do. And I don't know why they can't be designed. They can be. So sure. I look forward to that because I don't think people are stupid. I think they're trapped where the choices are unhealthy and they don't have time and resources to chop up vegetables for 2 hours like my dear vegan raw chef wife. And so they go with what they got to go with. But if we could make healthy choices available in schools, colleges, workplaces, and the trend is there. So I think it's going to get better. I think we're as low as it can go.
Be honest with you, I wish we would have had you on for the whole hour today. We got to have you back on soon because I've got a ton of questions. But inflammation, how about for diseases like fibromyalgia? Is that also a lot of food or?
If fibromyalgia seems to respond, and again, not opinion, there's at least 1 or 2 scientific studies of patients with fibromyalgia who eliminated processed food, greatly increased fresh vegetables and fruits, and responded dramatically with pain control. And I'm a cardiologist, but my patients have fibromyalgia, so I let them know that that's available There is also some of the natural supplements. I'm a big spice advocate. That sounds kind of silly, but we're learning these spices are like healthy chemicals. So turmeric from the Indian culture and curry powder from the Indian culture are unbelievably good anti-inflammatory agents, the kind of natural Motrins, natural Tylenol. So I have my patients have their Italian herb seasoning bottle all over their food. Oregano, thyme, rosemary, sage are wonderful spices as antioxidants. I have the curry powder bottle out because that's a great anti-inflammatory fibromyalgia patients. It really gets some turmeric. And I recently have been studying allspice, cloves, nutmeg, cinnamon as kind of your oatmeal fruit smoothie, sweeter spices, and they're tremendous antioxidants. So, the world we live in, smokers and poor sleep and overweight, those are very oxidizing. We're rusting away. Our arteries are rusting away. Can you believe it? You put some allspice and cloves in your oatmeal and you're fighting the process. Simple solutions.
So we're moving from a health program to a cooking show.
Cute. Our guest by phone is cardiologist Dr. Joel Kahn.
Doctor, I have another question. I keep hearing that stress is a real cause of heart conditions. Is that a true statement?
I will apologize. I'm in a hospital and I'm practicing cardiology and talking to you. Your question cut in and out, so I would love to answer it.
Is stress a major problem causing heart problems?
Yes. There's no question stress is a major problem. And it in and of itself, stress releases adrenaline, stress releases cortisol. These raise our blood sugar, raise our blood pressure, change our immune system. When we're stressed, we don't fight infection as well. We get the flu and other illnesses. And so I'm an advocate, and it's odd for a cardiologist to do this, but I know the literature on yoga, on meditation, even on just simple breathing. I mean, the old count to 10 before you blow your fuse, but I would say count to 10 and breathe slowly while you don't blow your fuse. It's simple steps to avoid stress and anger responses. Sleep is a very important part of it, trying to get 7-8 hours sleep to avoid the harmful effects of stress. Exercise is a great stress breaker. There are some natural supplements. Green tea has some great stress-relieving compounds, and green tea is a wonder drink for cancer prevention and cholesterol reduction. If you have a triglyceride problem, green tea lowers your triglycerides as well as commercial drugs. Why not go for it? But again, it's probably the first battle and the most major importance is the food chain and what we're eating. That European study I mentioned, people's stress were high in World War II, but heart attack rates went down because animal products disappeared. So that's step one. Step one is handle food. Step 2 and 3 are stress and exercise.
Dr. Joe, we're going to have you back soon, definitely.
I would love that.
Yeah, and your book's coming out the end of the year, right?
Yes. I wish I could print it now, but it's pretty much done. It's just being prepared.
Sure.
What's it called? What's it called?
Prevent, Not Stent. And from a cardiologist, a little bit of a bold, fun title, but truly it'll talk about combining the best of what we might call Western or American medicine. But let's bring science back. Let's bring nutrition science, exercise science, relaxation science. I wrote a little article, got published on the web today, about the medical data that sitting in a sauna for heart patients is therapeutic, and it's not weird data. It actually is. There's one study out of Japan that it saves lives in congestive heart failure. Well, why don't we use that more? So I'm on a roll to bring back some of the non-traditional therapies and add them to what we do standardly.
You know, and I totally believe in that. I know in my own situation with my diabetes and the stents I had, you know, when I started taking control of my exercise and diet myself, everything changed. It changed overnight. So
isn't that great? It literally in 2 to 3 weeks you can completely change. Well, one meal can change it for the worse, but you can consistently change the constitution of your blood and your arteries for the better long term within 2 to 3 weeks and feel better.
You know, Marty looks a lot better than he did, and that's hard to believe because he never really looked good.
So let me just make sure we mention that the heart is an organ fed by arteries, but if any guys are listening, the groin is an organ fed by arteries, so you want to keep those arteries healthy too. I tell my patients, forget about your heart, eat your carrots and your celery for the bedroom, and that message usually gets their attention.
Oh, you bet.
So with carrots and celery, you don't need Viagra?
Actually, watermelon may be the best natural food to eat for that, but a green-friendly life with stress reduction and exercise definitely help sexual function maintain and return if you don't have it.
Fantastic. One of the things I heard you mention is that when it comes to supplements, if you're taking a statin like so many people are taking Lipitor or a statin like that for cholesterol, should you be taking supplements on top of that?
My opinion, I'd like to see the science stronger, but yes, there's one called CoQ10, and I put my patients, if they're on statins, on CoQ10, usually about 200 milligrams a day. There's a great biochemical reason for doing it. There isn't yet a real strong study that proves it. There's absolutely no reason to believe it's harmful. But I can tell you the number of people that are just tired, a little bit achy, a little bit weak because of their statin, and they didn't think fatigue could do it, is very high. And I think the generics, it's a little higher than it was with the name brands. And CoQ10, 200 milligrams, is a good thing to add if you're diabetic, if you're hypertensive, and if you have heart disease.
Where can someone find turmeric?
Turmeric you can find every grocery store, and certainly any ethnic grocery store, but any big chain grocery store in the spice section.
And
it's easy, and I'd have bottles all over your house.
Yeah,
Really?
it's a normal one. Yeah, I took my Q10 this morning, by the way.
Good.
Dr. Joel, I wish we would have had you for the whole show. If I had it to do over again, I would have scheduled it that way.
After his book comes out, let's have him on.
We're going to have him on before that because I think this is too important.
We started with broccoli and we ended with sex, so I think we did well.
And all the bases in between. Thank you, Dr. Joel. We'd love to have you back on soon.
All right, to your health. Glad
Thank
to
you,
talk
guys.
to you.
Take care now.
Bye-bye.
We'll be back in a moment on Taking Care of Business on Koerner Radio News Talk 1180.